My grandparents, obviously, they were in East Africa. I didn't see them that much, and because my granddad actually came to India in 61 or 62, I can't remember. And so I only had from 62 to 69, about 7 years with my granddad. He was a Qatar Sikh, and he believed in Sikhism, and in fact, he taught us the way Sikhi, and he was the obviously kingpin in our family. And on the other hand, my mom, she was I forgot now. Radha Swami, and she was actually Radha Swami, and I can remember very well. I mean, it was myself, cousin. We went to Bias with my grandma, and we were only quite young, but then we got lost, and obviously we were so concerned. My cousin, he's a year younger than myself, and we were both lost, and we didn't know where our grandma was. But then after about a couple of hours, we were, we got together. And yes, and I can remember that. I can still see it, what happened then. We were wandering around here and there, trying to find our grandma, and she was obviously wandering around to find her grandsons. So yes, we got together in the end. My granddad, because he was a great believer in Sikhism, he taught us apart at a very early stage. Obviously, when I say early stage, I was about 67 when my granddad used to ask us to do part, but we didn't think too much about it. But obviously, he was our granddad, and whatever he says, we did do it. But we only see a granddad occasionally, because my grandpa wasn't living with us. He was living in village, and we were actually in the Jalandhar city. So it's occasionally we used to go to our village to see a granddad, and also my grandparents. There's so many. Obviously, I can see my granddad now. Before we go to bed, he used to tell us stories, sakhis of gurus, and there's various. On top of my head, I can remember one, because my granddad was a great believer of, before you go to bed, you must have your drink, and the drink, it's milk, big glass of milk. I'm obviously, with my age, I couldn't drink all of it, but then he used to say in Swahili, "Musho kulare," and I can still remember it now. And then he used to say, "This is how our guru, they got strong because they drank milk, and so you must drink milk and we be strong." And but that was his affection towards us. He just wanted me to be a good man, and be strong. Mashua kulare. That means in Swahili, drink mashua. I think it's a milk, and kula means drink. I think. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Africa till later stage. In fact, when I was here and accompanied a few times by Sabji and the Jatha, and that's the first time actually saw Africa. But although my grandparents, my dad, he spent most of his life or their life in East Africa, and they used to tell us stories about East Africa. They were, it was so nice and it's so enjoyable. But when I actually went there, I, because I actually had the image of Africa as what they described me. But when we landed at Nairobi airport, and when we went out, and I could see the heaps of rubbish here and there. I mean, and I said, well, no, it can't be true. But then again, they were talking about, when they were there. But I'm talking about in 90s, So obviously there's a lot of difference. After independent, the country went downhill. So then I actually came back and I told my dad, this is what I saw, and he couldn't believe. And in fact, he went back to see, I was telling the truth. Yeah. So he says, yes, Africa is no longer what Africa was, when they were there.